And that's right, it's Deep V Friday. You're joining the party podcast known as Our Reviews Will Kill You. I am the man they know as Z, and I am here to bring the party to you live every night. It's, well, not every night, but at least Friday nights, so you can come party with us. In case you missed it, we did have a couple chat rooms this week. We had one chat room about an article that apparently nobody liked, and we had another chat room about some PS5 news. We had our crack reporter working on that, watching it live, trying to give you all the hottest tips about that PS5. We'll go over a little bit of it today again. I wasn't there because I don't care. Or I do. You know me as the world-renowned gamer, Z. That's right. I am joined by the peachy, kind of fuzzy, kind of funky.
All sexy.
The noob.
I have better chat rooms than you.
From what I could tell, you fellas were lost.
What I could tell is we got better numbers than the ones with you, so who's the problem?
Touch my titties.
Definitely you.
You're not touching my titties enough. That's why.
Apparently not. And then we are also joined by the, I guess he's a former member of the Republic of the United States. He has now officially declared his love for something else. We don't know what it is yet. He is Scott Keebler. Did you annex yourself?
The Chaz supporter.
My love is for whiskey and scotch, as it always has been. That hasn't changed. Yes, again, it is Friday night. We are live on YouTube. The chat is up and running, so we want to hear from you. Be sure to join in the conversation. Let us know what you're drinking. Let us know what you're up to tonight. Before we get too far into it, I'm going to go ahead and kill my music here and jump back to a screen with you fine fellers. I want to bring everyone's attention to the newly improved and updated ScottWillKillYou.com website. Some time was spent this week to make sure that everything is nice and pretty and the way it should be. So a much easier interface, easier to use website. So be sure to go check that out whenever you have said opportunity.
What kind of content's on there, Scott?
As usual, it's the video, it's our podcast, it's our Instagram. There's music videos, there's other videos, there's other podcasts. Everything is now organized, much better and easier to get to with separate pages for each individual thing. It's a much more streamlined and much more user-friendly interface, if I do say so myself.
Well, since I've never been to a website, I'll have to check that out, Scott.
Yes, this will be a fresh, new experience for you.
Does that mean it's going to crash all of our numbers again so we don't know how many people listen to our podcast?
Probably. I mean, who knows at this point?
That's what happened last time we reorganized.
I have no idea anymore. I don't know what the hell that.
Whoops-a-doodle.
We actually got a special request. I got an analgram from Jennifer Lopez, and she requested a free OrkU mug from our store. So, Scott, you need to get on that.
I would think she'd have to send, there's demands for those type of things.
Yeah,
and
she has said that she
orders.
has fulfilled those demands and swallowed them.
Like,
I do not believe that is true.
like, pay for it.
No, she's too poor.
Well,
she's Jennifer Lopez. She's the illegal Jennifer
then maybe
Lopez.
then maybe someone else should pay for it. Maybe somebody that she's made prior arrangements with. Maybe some lip service.
Does she have a benefactor?
Maybe.
She does not.
Well,
I'm not so sure about that.
Maybe she needs a benefactor.
Avocados are the Mexicans' benefactor.
What?
I don't know.
No.
Because avocados are from Mexico.
You love avocados.
I do love avocados. They're good. They're a superfruit. Just saying.
So what is on today's episode, by the way?
There's so much. Apparently, DC sucks. Not Washington, D.C., because that guy's great. Space Force is in a battle for supremacy over the government. And elongated man says so long, because he is so long. That do you get that pun? That's fun. Conor retires because he ate too much honey. DC Daily is a show, I think. It maybe got canceled.
There's a lot of canceling going on.
I don't know if
did
DC Daily say racist things. We'll find out. Elmer, Fudd, and Yosemite lose their guns after scissoring. Batman is going to have another Joker because we don't have enough already. I don't know what. Is it the Batman or is it Batman animated? Who knows? We'll find out. Collider recognizes one of our watch-along specials, Congo. Collider is jumping on the Congo as a classic.
They are jumping on the OrkU bandwagon, as
They
we
are.
suspected. We are highly influential.
I would say they're join the Congo line, perhaps.
No,
yes,
Scott,
I was waiting for that pun.
You went too far. We're going to have some PS5 price predictions, and I'm going to go over some PS5 news again, just because everyone needs it. We're going to defund Paw Patrol because racist dogs exist, apparently. Oderus Urungus statue. I don't think I said that right.
Oderus Urungus.
Odori Urani statue. Odor anus statue. Is there an owner in my anus? Oh my god, I haven't wiped it today. Okay. Then we're going to do reviews because there's so much to review. Dorohedoro is on Netflix.
Dorohedoro.
Dorohedoro.
Close enough.
Dorohedoro.
Then The Last Days of American Crime. The movie so long, none of us bothered to finish.
Oh, and Artemis Fowl, which just came out today.
Oh, yes,
streaming.
that thing.
Disney streaming.
Yes, that's...
Scott has an exclusive, like hot off the press before anyone even got home to watch it yet. Scott was there taking it all in with his first impression. There's maybe another news story that we might talk about too. I might sprinkle in some things as I find them fascinating. You know, maybe we should have a Z exclusive show since, you know.
No one needs that.
Oh, I'm pretty sure we do.
Everyone.
So
exclusives.
Oh, okay.
With the Z. Exclusives.
Nope. Anyway, so DC apparently sucks. I don't know why. I didn't come prepared. My laptop was updating too long for me to research. So please enlighten me.
Why does DC suck?
Why does it suck? Because it's canceling everything? Oh, this was a precursor to the DC news. It makes sense now.
It's also news that we had talked about a couple weeks ago where DC Comics, actually it might have been last weekend, DC Comics broke ties with Diamond Distributors, and a lot of comic book shop owners are not happy about that. So there's a hashtag trending of DC sucks. So people are
I think
pissed.
it was also a sale. I think they put like online, like if you put in the code DC sucks, you get like 50% off of the
leftover DC
trash.
What does leaving DC Diamond even mean? What's
We're here since you were sleeping during that last story.
As he usually
we
is.
talked about how Diamond Distributors, the exclusive distributor of all comic books in the world, basically, had a monopoly, and now with the state of comic book shops uncertain, DC decided to make a move where they split it into two relatively small distributors, or just distributors, where they made it so that you can no longer you won't be able to buy from it was about D's, right?
Dallas does not suck.
Dallas
It's impossible.
Nope.
Wait, what? Oh,
No.
I'm sorry. I don't know. I looked up DC sucks. I don't know how that got in there. Let's
that just slipped in there.
Let's fix that. I'm sorry.
There's nothing more American than the Dallas Cowboys and Dragon Ball Z.
Oh
God! No! God, please, no! No! No!
You know, I think he forgot in the past like 3 or 4 episodes.
Yeah,
I don't think he's remembered.
I might have been enamored.
So
he might have been asleep.
I might have been enhammered.
So yeah, so it was hashtag DC sucks. DC sucks was the selling point. Their online sale promo, whatever. So yeah, it was an interesting few days for DC, I guess.
Well, we'll see how it all shakes out. People don't know that much about the distributors, but we figured we'd bring it to you just so you know a little bit about the insides of what's going on.
What more people will probably know, well, not that really, because I think a lot of people stop watching The Flash, like Z, because he's a bitch. Elongated Man.
DC sucks.
Yeah, DC sucks because they fired Elongated Man. Hartley Sawyer. That's a cool name, by the way. Hartley Sawyer. Such a great name.
Is it really?
It's God damn it with the goddamn Cowboys suck. Anyway, so Hartley
I actually had one more, but we didn't get to it. So oh well.
We still have time.
Hartley Sawyer played Ralph Dibny, or the Elongated Man, on The Flash for 3 years, and he was fired for some apparently misogynistic or racist or rapey tweets. So
Well, there he is now in his top of the line costume, as all the costume departments from all those shows has been super high class. I mean, I'll tell you what, I've not seen costuming like this since Halloween of 1985. But we do have actually a whole bunch of said tweets that were brought up in the questions, and I thought that Noob would be able to go ahead and read them out for us if he doesn't mind.
Sure. Enjoyed a secret boob viewing at an audition today. Okay. What's bad about that?
That's kind of silly and dumb.
Is that 2013 he had that tweet?
Yeah. 7 years ago, we got to see some boobs. Okay. That's not that bad.
2014.
Is that a naughty casting couch thing?
I guess. I don't know. It's kind of dumb.
As a lad, one of my favorite activities was kidnapping homeless women and cutting off their breasts. What?
Can we read that like a normal human being?
Oh, that was good.
As a lad, one of my favorite activities was kidnapping homeless women and cutting off their breasts.
It's stupid. It's stupid. I don't know why.
Is he a comedian? Does anybody know this?
No.
I don't think he is, but that was pretty funny.
No, he
Okay,
obviously is not a comedian as you go through these.
I think I could work at a tit factory and be pretty happy. Okay, who wouldn't be? What's wrong with that?
People must hate tits.
The only thing stopping me from doing mildly racist tweets is the knowledge that Al Sharpton would never stop complaining about me. Al Sharpton is like the Reverend dude, right?
The Reverend Al Sharpton, yes.
Yes. How is he even powerful? He's just a Reverend.
What do you mean? He's extremely powerful political figure.
But he's just a Reverend, right? He's not any actual politics.
He influences politics. He's a public speaker, too. He's a well-known activist.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So that, again, there's nothing really wrong about that. He didn't actually say anything racist. He talked about
he said he would do mildly racist.
Mildly racist.
Ah, okay.
Outside of the 7-Eleven where I saw that my ex-girlfriend.
I mean,
what?
That's a little more wrong.
That's like, I don't think he's...
if he was a comedian, I think he could get away with it, but I don't think he is. I think he's just an actor.
I see, if that's real, then yeah, that's kind of fucked up.
What do you mean if it's real? Do you really think he assaulted his ex-girlfriend outside of a 7-Eleven?
What?
Maybe she stole a Slurpee.
What was he doing in 2012 though? Like
probably nothing. Like the dude's barely famous now.
All right, well, he's gonna be not famous at all real soon. Do we have another one?
Dozing off my couch like a child molester / my brother. Oh, all right, this guy's great.
Dozing off on my couch like a child molester / my brother. I don't get that.
He's calling his brother a child molester.
Gotcha.
If I had a wife, I would beat the hell out of her. All right, this guy's fucking awesome. I love this dude.
You're a big fan, huh?
You're a big fan of this
If
stuff.
I had a wife, I would beat the hell out of her tonight. What is that? Oh, here you go. Read this one.
I like women who are good in the sack. The burlap sack. This guy is basically me.
Just read it.
This is it.
I like women who are good in the sack. The burlap sack where I put my victims. Seriously, we need to reach out to this dude and bring him on.
I think
we could give him a place to speak. I mean, I don't see the problem in deplatforming this poor guy, and we wouldn't ambush him either.
Are you sure?
Icebreakers. All women should be in sex farms. What?
Yeah.
How many tweets?
He's so much smarter than you, noob.
80% of the prison population is African American. This was like, what was?
Why would he put? What is that one?
That one just didn't make any sense.
A little questionable.
You look at this and a lot of the other tweets. You understand why this guy was canceled. I don't agree with cancel culture, but this guy was stupid back then, so he's probably just as stupid today.
Wow, Scott, that's
not
rude.
Really. Are you moving to Seattle soon, Scott?
He is moving to Seattle soon.
Might as well.
Are you gonna go scissor some Chazzes?
You're gonna go live in the Chaz?
I'm gonna go play with Chaz.
Is that it? That's it?
That's it.
I guess the last one's the worst one, but
the last one was the date rape one.
Way to blow any chance of us interviewing him now, Scott.
Whatever.
You Seattle hippie.
Yep.
Honestly, I like this guy so much more after I saw those tweets. He's pretty funny.
No, it was.
If he was a comedian, he would. I think he's just being farcical. Like those are just ridiculous things to say.
Yeah, he probably hasn't.
Are you offended, Scott? Are you offended?
He was going after shock culture, and he wasn't. It wasn't funny. It was all dumb.
So he should be censored.
I think all CW shows should be removed completely. I think this is a good start.
Should we take away his Second Amendment rights, Scott?
Yes.
Or not Second Amendment? What's is freedom of speech? Is the
Freedom
first?
of
It's
speech.
the
Yeah.
first one. The second,
Should we
the
take
second
away
one
that?
is his right to guns.
Okay. Should we take
Which-
both of those
Which-
away, Scott?
Yes, with tweets like that, he should not be allowed to have guns. I can self-identify and also identify others people that should not have guns. He should not. He's too stupid to own a firearm.
So you
He's
want to take
also-
away his guns?
He's also
Oh my God.
too stupid to have a Twitter as well. Many other people.
Well, here's the thing. James Gunn said so much more fucked up shit, and he's famous enough to get his job back. So
And he's liberal, so he got his job back. Because he hates Trump. He's got that Trump derangement syndrome.
Whereas this poor dude just said some mildly fucked up things, and now he's probably not going to get a job again.
Never. He
no,
will
the-
never work in Hollywood
The
again.
other interesting thing is on this side of the board, I'm also smart enough to turn a light on so my camera doesn't keep pulsing every time I move. Brighter
We have a
and
light on.
darker.
We have many lights on.
Because, yeah. Do you have the light in front of you on?
Yeah.
All right.
We also have the window shades up.
Your
That's a new feature.
Your camera's all funky, so I don't know what's going on there. But
Your
Moving
It's called
on.
special effects.
Yeah, anyway, I don't think he should have been canceled. I don't know what they're going to do with The Flash because,
It sucks anyway.
it's not great.
All
but
those shows
this,
suck.
This next season was supposed to feature him in this like side role with
his
a
arc
romance.
with his
there
wife missing and
maybe
stuff like
maybe
that.
they'll just recast him like they're recasting Ruby Rose.
They'll just kill him
maybe.
off.
Yeah, maybe.
Just kill him off. That's what you should do.
So also, we're gonna keep the trend of DC and depressing news. DC Daily, which is apparently a DC show on DC Universe, it got canceled. I don't know why because I've never even knew this was a thing. So what is this thing?
Something stupid on DC streaming.
Okay, what did it
No
do?
one watched it, so no one cared. It just got canceled.
What was the news? Like, did it do comic book news? I don't understand.
It had a diverse, strong board of strong, diverse voices giving strong, diverse opinions about things no one cared about.
Was this the one where like they had the after show where like people were playing video games and talking about episodes as they came out and stuff like that?
Fuck if I know.
Or was it all like the comic books or because I know DC had all these comic book stuff. I never checked out the DC Daily. I have the app.
So you're the reason it got canceled.
I know someone else that's using my app, but I never
Who's
checked
that?
out DC Daily to see exactly what it was.
Who's that? What?
Huh?
I don't know. Noob has the article up, but yeah, it got canceled. And no one watched it, so I guess we're just going through things that get canceled.
The series will end with 400 plus episodes, so it has an
400 episodes.
Dude, I don't know.
I
Daily
wasn't
is
trying!
It's
They were
probably
trying.
It's probably an episode every day. After more
I'm
than
sure.
400 episodes, DC Daily will air its final broadcast on Friday, July 3rd. Okay. Cool.
All right, well, it's
Interesting.
canceled. Let's keep canceling. What's
Well,
next?
wait, complications
What's the
due
other
to
thing?
COVID.
Tedious.
I want to keep canceling.
Yeah, I don't think there's. Oh, I guess we'll cancel.
What else
cartoons.
are we canceling?
We're gonna.
Oh, yes, we can cancel. Yes, as Scott said, he likes to take guns away from people, so let's talk about the next one.
So an old white man trying to defend himself, you want to strip him of his guns
from
and let him
an
be
evil rabbit.
violently raped by the Seattleites.
What about Cowboy? Wouldn't he need his guns too?
He would. Look at that mustache.
That powerful mustache.
Yeah, and he's a ginger. That's racist if you take his guns away.
So people are going insane over this. Including,
Oh, this one
including
you're not
Yosemite,
for.
including Yosemite Sam.
Dirty Turkish Harker back flatten Borton Philip Bucket Martin Perkaluma Burton Durton Bush Latin Martin and Adam Baraka Frip Flipper Peraluma Waka Frax Wack
He doesn't sound happy, actually.
No.
It sounds like
This
he's
is
pissed off.
anti-hunting and anti-guns. Is that what's going on here?
So Elmer Fudd and Yosemite Sam will no longer carry guns in the new Looney Tune cartoons on HBO Max.
I was under the impression though that they still like stuck dynamite in each other's faces.
They're still using dynamite. They're still explosives and acid and all these other fun things.
But guns are bad.
So
but now-
Antifa approved weapons.
Yeah, but now Elmer Fudd, when he's trying to catch Bugs Bunny, he just has to chase him empty-handed because that's going to be super effective. I don't know the last time he tried to catch a fucking rabbit, but yeah, doing it barehanded works. Although it could be a little easier if you have a sickle, because I guess that's his new hunting choice.
Yeah, because chopping a bunny's head off is so much better than shooting him.
Why does Bugs Bunny have gloves on?
He always did have the white hands, but yeah, now his hands are yellow for some reason. I don't know why that's going on either. Also, apparently Yosemite Sam has gone to the red country. He's now Russian.
I see. He's
what is this?
Scott's making. He's trying to infiltrate us with his communism.
Yes.
Oh, boy.
So Yosemite Sam is bringing the communist leadership state over to this great nation.
So he's a socialist. Is he a democratic socialist, or is he just a socialist?
I don't know what any of that means, so I just say yes.
I just add sickle and hammer to things. I have no idea what is any of these things.
I just use the sickle and a hammer to build things. Yes, to build things, to make things better for people. I swear.
You almost sound like Vlad the Impaler, Scott.
There we go.
It's close. It's close.
People are losing their minds over this, and a lot of people are saying that this is just happening now, but they've been making these cartoons for a while now. So this decision was made a while before this stuff ever popped up onto HBO Max. They're just removing the gun violence.
Well, I guess here's one of the articles. We can't. Maybe we'll talk about this at a different time. But like, they're canceling a lot of stuff. Like Magic the Gathering has some apparently racist cards they're getting rid of. They got rid of Gone with the Wind. They're pulling that, I guess, to make it. To educate people. The only thing that kind of annoys me about Gone with the Wind, them taking it, I could care less about the movie. It's about the South, and the South is like. Whatever, but I get that there's a favorable depiction of slavery in the movie. I understand that,
and they're talking about, and they're just talking about addressing that before they bring it back, because it is a classic. It's won awards. It's not like they're going to make it disappear. They just want to make sure that when it's presented with the context, like this wasn't how things were. It's a matter of rewriting the history books so the truth is actually out there. So it's not whitewashed the way it has been for so many years.
Whitewashed. She won the first Academy Award for an African American woman. The woman deserves to be recognized.
I'm talking about.
Sully her history.
I'm just talking about history, like the history books, like the stuff you used to get back in school and stuff.
You went to school?
A couple times.
I thought so.
I think Bootleg has it though. He's got to figure it out. He says sickles are good, dynamite good, buckshot bad.
Yeah, so cartoony
it's offensive
violence
to hunters. Like, what about? Like, that's what he's doing. He's a hunter hunting a rabbit. Like, why is that offensive?
Although I could tell you, Yosemite Sam was never a proper like gun owner. He was always shooting his guns up in the air. So
he was irresponsible.
He was an irresponsible gun owner. Elmer Fudd, on the other hand, not so much. Although he's a horrible shot. He shot a duck point blank in the face and just spun his bill around.
His bill around.
Yeah, it's just a bad hunter.
Terrible hunter. So what do you want to talk about next there, Noob?
Okay, let's move on. And what do we want to do? Oh, here we go. Space Force. So Space Force is the show on Netflix.
Are they also getting canceled?
But no, they're not getting canceled. But maybe. It's also a trademark battle with the government because, Trump is trying to make Space Force a real thing. And I think Space Force, the show, is winning the trademark war.
Boots on the moon.
Yeah, Boots on the moon 2020. It's good to be black on the moon.
It is good to be black on the moon.
Yeah, I mean, it's good to be black everywhere. The first season of Space Force didn't live up to it. No, hold on. Can work out the kinks. Space Force. Where's the actual trademark battle?
They are hating on Space Force something hard, probably because it's not enough of a spoof for them.
And that's what it was. And we talked about this. We actually talked about Space Force. What was it, last week, the week before? I don't remember which.
Yeah, we did like a tease of it.
Yeah. But Donald Trump first announced his plans for Space Force in 2018. The show came out in 2020, so Trump wins. Congress funded it in 2019.
Well, Trump also stole the logo from Star Trek to make the Space Force logo.
Did he?
Yes, he did.
Yeah. So here's the Department of Space Force from the show, United States Space Force compared to Starfleet Command. Yeah. I think
Starfleet Command wins.
I could see some issue there. With only let alone were they already behind the game going to Starfleet, but then Space Force, because they made the show and have the title, now have the rights to the name with the copyrights. Oops.
They should relinquish them so we can have a real Space Force.
Yeah,
As Neil deGrasse Tyson, the mighty and powerful Neil deGrasse Tyson said, we need a Space Force to defend our assets in space.
I don't think we're worthy of a Space Force until we can behave like they did in Star Trek. A proper person.
So you're just going to let the Chinese beat us to the moon?
You know,
communist?
What happens when they
as well.
go on the moon?
Are you moving to China now? Is that what's going on?
Why not? I heard they have great sushi.
Why do you
They
hate
do
America,
not have
Scott?
great sushi.
Why do you hate America? Sushi's Japanese.
Oh, well then I need to go to Japan then.
You do. Japan's a
God,
great
I
country.
love sushi.
Like literally, just Japan is better than us in every way.
Dude, Noob will take you on a tour of
Straight up
Japan.
better.
They make our
Their porn
iPhones-
is not better than our porn.
No, they have tentacle porn, and that's interesting. I'm not saying
It's
it's better.
censored.
It's different.
It's all censored.
Yeah,
So
but who
it's not
cares?
better.
Honestly, like use your imagination. What else does America have over Japan? Nothing.
Better
There was-
porn.
There was a time that we had to use our imaginations for porn anyway. I'm sorry. Deal with it.
I'm waiting for other than porn. Like, what do you got?
What else is better? We have a more diverse collection of food.
Yeah, but their food's just better.
How's it better?
Oh yeah, we got
'Cause-
guns.
Rice and stuff.
Yeah, we have more guns.
Yeah,
Thank
that's
you very
right.
much.
We
You
do.
got
Yeah, they have samurai
way more
swords.
guns.
Yes, gun beats sword. Remember Indiana Jones?
No, have you seen The Last Samurai with Tom Cruise?
Guns beat
That's
swords.
factually accurate.
Yeah, he dies.
And the guns won. Everyone
alert.
died. Everyone,
Guns win.
Everyone
He
that had a
dies, but he
sword
wins.
died.
He does not win. He dies.
Yeah, but the battle he wins.
He dies.
No,
But he
no,
wins.
He lost
He
the
wins.
battle too.
He wins by dying. He was too gorgeous to live, so he had to die.
Speaking of white. Actually, that's actually historically accurate. Historically factual
Yes,
account.
historically accurate.
I'm calling it facturate from now on. It's facturate. We fact checked it and it's accurate. It's
Wait, was
facturate.
Last Samurai?
Now for
factually
something
accurate?
completely different.
Yeah, it was based on something accurate or fictionally. It was yes. There was a guy.
There was a
there
white
was
man that defended Japan. essentially.
correct. Yes,
Okay.
that is based.
Not Keanu Reeves.
Get over that!
No, because
So 47 Ronin. 47 Ronin with Keanu Reeves was not real.
That's based on a story, a Japanese historical story.
So Keanu Reeves did not save Japan.
Next,
Okay. So Congo is a classic that we reviewed, I think, actually almost a year ago.
suck it, Collider.
Yeah.
You stealing our content. Give it back.
So
We want it.
Collider is screaming about Congo being a cult classic right now.
Yeah,
And,
because we only made drinks based on it. The Damn Dirty Ape. Thank you very much.
that's a really bad drink, by the way.
It's an excellent
It's
drink.
a horrible fucking drink.
We got real lit up on those. If you want to
That's
watch
right.
something funny,
They were some
listen,
good
watch
drinks.
Congo, and listen to us.
We were also doing tequila shots that entire time.
Oh yeah, if you want to hear us get a little sloshed, watch Congo and listen to us give the commentary for Congo.
By the end of the episode, Noob actually looked like this.
boy.
Yes, every time he saw a drink, his eyes got real big.
I forgot Tim Curry and Laura Linney from what the hell?
Were you
Laura
that
Linney?
drunk that you forgot who
Laura
was in
Linney
the movie?
is the bitch in Ozark.
Correct.
Yes.
Yes. She a thunder cunt there.
There was a bunch of people in that one, but yeah. So they're saying it's,
Ernie Hudson.
So apparently, this is the 25-year anniversary for Congo, which is why they were given some recognition from Collider. Was it?
Yes,
Collider, yes.
They're saying that this should be a classic. They went over all the highlights on what made this a completely insane movie, from the gorilla that could only fly when he was drinking martinis, to Laura Linney cutting down a bunch of apes with a laser, to Tim Curry's Russian accent for some reason that he didn't need, but thank God he did.
And Ernie Hudson bringing it hard. He's so good in that movie. It's amazing.
Yeah. There's so much good stuff about that horrible movie that just made it fantastic. And it really is a classic. We called it a classic years ago. Collider's just now getting on the bandwagon. Collider, keep up. Try to keep up.
Try to keep up with this hot take and hot comments from the OrkU.
Do it!
Should we contact Collider for royalties?
Yes,
Yeah,
we
I
want
think
back
so.
pay.
We do.
We need to upgrade our laptops.
We made Congo a classic on their 24th year anniversary. We don't give a shit about 25.
We were trying to
It's
get on
an
it early.
outrage.
It is an outrage.
Anyway, so apparently, let's go back to DC on some good news, maybe? There's a new Joker. I think. I don't know. I tried to Google it and I didn't get anything. So explain.
Too many cooks.
Explain too many jokers.
Too many cooks.
Too many jokers?
Too many cooks.
That's a different thing.
Too many cooks.
That's a different thing.
Too many cooks.
Okay, you're going to keep singing.
There's too many jokers.
What do you mean?
Stop giving me jokers. I don't want any more jokers.
There's a new Joker?
No more jokers.
Is there a new Joker?
Yeah, they're talking about... I'm trying not to shout in the microphone here, but...
The Batman trilogy rumored to introduce a new Joker.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
The Batman with Tiny Batman is
Yes.
going to fight. Is going to fight Tiny Joker. How many more Jokers do we need?
I'm bringing a new Joker into this mix.
Mini Joker? It's
He will
Tiny
be
Batman
Mini
versus Mini Joker?
He will be the same height as me. He will be Little Joker. He will only tell dad jokes.
But tiny jokes? Little jokes?
It's a rumor at this point. Just a rumor.
He will only tell jokes about little people. That's what makes him so evil.
This hasn't even been officially greenlit for a sequel yet, so let's calm
You don't
down.
think that Matt Reeves is the Batman with Robert Pattinson's going to get a
think
sequel?
We thought Justice League was going to get a sequel. How'd that go?
I think they also signed Pattinson onto a multi-movie deal as well.
Well, they did also sign the kid from Solo to a multi-movie deal, and that didn't
and then
go so
Space
well.
Kraken happened, and now he drives cars for a living.
I think it depends on whether or not this Batman is woke. If this Batman's super woke, people
Woke
are not
man?
going to be happy. And if he's tiny, they might not like him either. I don't
How
know.
would Batman be woke?
I will
don't think they
destroy
can make Batman.
Gotham's crime for the underside.
Really?
That's all I can reach.
What is he going to do? Like, fight?
They made James Bond woke in the comic books.
I will
Yes,
punch,
they did.
I will punch the criminal in their shin. I will dismantle the criminal aspect from the bottom to about the middle, because I can't
Does
reach
Tiny
the top.
Batman use thumbtacks?
I use nails, thank you. I use them as swords. I use nails as swords as I parkour parlay my way to the true fungus that is the crime of Gotham City.
Yikes.
Okay. I mean,
So-
I don't think this is necessarily useful right now because at the very least, he's not showing up in the newest movie, so it's going to be years.
He's supposed to show up in the new movie. That's the rumor. I'm getting it from some good sources.
I will be there before you know it. You'll be standing there, and then you'll look down and be like, "Oh wait, that's Batman! Where'd you come from?" I'll be like, "I was here the whole time because I'm Tiny Batman."
Well, I
So
guess
we'll go from Tiny Batman to a steroid-roided out Irishman.
he's not roided out. He's tiny too. Did you see him when he's at like his flyweight?
Yes, he looks
He's
like a
teeny
crack
tiny. He
addict.
looks like a little crack baby.
So Conor McGregor,
That's
Oh my God.
gorgeous. What a great picture you did there.
you know that man probably sucks
Thank
a good
you.
dick. I just have a good feeling about that.
That was a fun one to make.
That is fantastic. Happy retirement, Conor McGregor. He ate too many bees and his tummy got a little upset, and now he wants to retire, I
He
guess.
just wants to fight Russians and
No, what Russians is he going to fight?
Khabib.
Khabib has no interest in fighting
Habib.
him.
Or is it Khabib or Habib?
It's Khabib.
Khabib?
Khabib is like...
Habib.
Khabib won't even fight Tony Ferguson now, so...
No one's fighting. No one's fighting anybody. You can't get near him.
Oh, did you not hear about Fight Island, Scott?
Yeah, I heard about Fight Island. I heard it.
Oh,
was
it's coming.
also didn't happen or something.
No,
Apparently-
it's going to
apparently
happen.
Dana White's a freaking maniac. I don't know.
No, they've got it. They've got it. Google it up. Fight Island. It's
Dana
coming.
White is kind of a
I think it's
maniac.
actually coming in the next month.
I know Dana White stole the title UFC, spelled SEA, from John Oliver.
What?
Yeah, John Oliver on the last week tonight with John Oliver. John Oliver was talking about his Fight Island, and he's like, Dana, how could you not think about UFC? And it was UF-SEA, UFC. 2 days later, Dana White copyrighted UFC, SEA. So he stole the
I'm
idea
sure-
from John Oliver. He actually called him
Yes.
out and said it was John Oliver who said it. But yeah, it was interesting.
I just think it would be cool to see them fight on a beach in general. Like if they fight on a beach in an octagon, that's cool.
Put an octagon in the sand.
Yeah, I think that would be cool.
That'd be different. And you can
Yeah.
use sand and blind your opponent.
Hey, you're a big fan of when they take people out of their element. You like those hockey fights, the hockey games that they play outside and stuff like that.
Yeah, the winter classics and stuff like that. They're fun. It's a different aspect. It makes it interesting.
Fight Island sounds
So it's,
like it's
a
different.
series of 4 events happening in
I
14
can say
days.
I scored a
Next-
goal at the link. I scored a hockey goal at the link. I can say that. Not many people can say that in this world.
Good for you.
That's
Proud.
right. That's right. That's one of my achievements. Take that.
So
what did you achieve, noob?
I am
Sexual
noob.
dominance over you.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, that happened.
So the series of 4 fighting events in 14 days is happening next month in Yas Island, which is Fight Island, in Abu Dhabi. Oh my God, that's where it's at? I didn't know that. It'll be much different than fans thought it would be, though. The lack of detail surrounding Fight Island triggered imaginations of combat sport worlds. Fortunately, fans are expecting fantasy, which will just be held in an arena. So it's basically...
Oh, it's going to be in an arena?
It's just an island that they're having a normal UFC fight in. So it's not going to be anything fancy.
That's bullshit. I want to see Fight Island.
Yeah.
Like Fantasy Island
Yeah.
or Sex
Put them
Island.
like throw them in the woods and they have to track each other down and fight each other in the woods.
Yes, please.
Yes, where in
That is what we
reality,
want to see.
It's just... Basically, it's going to look the same. It's just on an island.
But wait, what was this?
I guess-
Wait, what was it? What was this about Conor McGregor retiring though?
He said he retired.
Oh, okay. Cool.
He gets bored and pissy every 2 years, and he's like, I want to fight. Who I want to fight? And Dana White's like, no, fuck
I want
you.
to
So-
fight. I'm gonna fight. I'm gonna fight.
So do
then
we-
he's like,
I
all right,
want
I'm
to
going to
fight
retire.
Khabib. I'm gonna bring it to Khabib, but I don't want to fight her. I got enough money. I
Floyd
got
Mayweather
$40
also...
million in the bank.
Floyd Mayweather wants to fight him again, so he's probably going to do that because he'll just make $50 million for
No one
losing.
wants to see. No one cares. He hasn't. When was the last time? Did he even win his last fight?
He won in 40 seconds against Cowboy Cerrone.
Oh, that's right.
I
Cowboy
think
got.
this would be interesting. Bootleg said an octagon in the sand is what they're replacing the beach volleyball scene in Top Gun 2.
There'll be some ass slapping.
That would
for
be
sure.
that would be a definite good call. As long as they do it in jeans with no shirts, because that's how everyone plays volleyball. Apparently, I don't fucking know.
Oh,
All right,
boy.
what's next?
So let's move on to whatever this word is. Oderus Urungus is a band. It's a Canadian music band of Dave Brocky.
Not Canadian.
Nope.
Nope.
What is it?
I mean, I guess they're Canadian. I don't know. Guar. Anybody know who a Guar is? Anybody?
I know what a guar is.
Guar. Oderus Urungus, the lead singer of Guar. People, I just thought this was a funny story because they're pulling down all of these Confederate statues, which like Robert E. Lee statues and things like that. And there was a suggestion, and there's a petition going around that instead of putting up, especially in Virginia, they instead of you pull these statues down. Well, let's replace them with something. Let's replace it.
So this is the statue in question. It's a statue of Robert E. Lee up on top of a horse, on top of a monument. It doesn't look like that nowadays. There's a lot more colorful artwork around that monument. They're scrubbing the thing off pretty much every single day. But they have suggested, and the petition's going around to replace Robert E. Lee with Oderus Urungus.
Oderus Urungus.
Urungus.
Which is better known as Dave Brocky, Virginia resident. Rest in peace. He did die, I think, of an overdose. But the famous lead singer of Guar, and I think him and his famous codpiece should be immortalized forever and ever.
Was Guar even a good band, or did they just dress cool?
Guar is just, there's nothing like Guar. I don't think you can even understand Guar without being in front of Guar. I'm pretty sure he had
the live shows were absolutely insane. It was filled with flying blood and people getting eaten and all kinds of insane, crazy stuff. The music,
But were they good at singing?
The music videos were something else completely different. It was heavy, heavy metal. This was one of the first heavy metal grunge bands.
Was this mosh pitting where you're all flying around and punching each other?
You wouldn't like it because
You
it's
wouldn't like
not
it at all.
soft wuss music.
Although I'll tell you what, I mean, these petitions are great, and I love that people get behind a cause and everything else. But you really do need to do your research when it comes to the people that you're going to immortalize and put up on pedestals, of course, stuff like that. The whole idea here is to remove a Civil War general, somebody that fought for the South, but you have to make sure that you know who you're replacing him with and know their background. Unfortunately,
are you saying that Oderus Urungus was a general?
We
in the
didn't
Southern
realize
Army?
that Oderus Urungus was a general in the South.
That kind of looks like Red Skull.
So you're replacing just one Southern War general with another. It's unfortunate. We don't really talk about what he did before he founded Guar, but yeah, unfortunately, you may need to decide to go with somebody else.
I do feel like he was hundreds of years old, so that is a distinct possibility,
yes, he was
right?
somewhat an immortal.
And immortal. So, all right. Well, let's move on. You didn't show his codpiece. I think it has its own name.
Yes, I believe his codpiece does have his own name. I think that one's a squash.
So
you don't want to show that? That's too explicit.
Our
audience.
I don't have a picture of his codpiece. I just have the picture that you sent me, and I spent the rest of my time making General E. Urungus.
General E. Urungus. That's a good one.
Okay. Well, let's move on to our final news story, which is a rehash of yesterday's glorious chat room featuring me, giving a rundown of all of the Sony PS5 Future of Gaming announcements. We actually have apparently an insider that has some secretive information about pricing, because that was one of the key things they did not mention at yesterday's conference, which was the price of both the full-fledged disc-based version of the PS5 and the digital edition, which is seen to the right if you're watching on our YouTube.
People were very upset that they did not give either a release date or
the release date is holiday 2020, so it's probably coming in November.
That doesn't mean anything.
November. I mean,
give a date.
Yeah, I would have preferred a date.
In time for Christmas. Basically, they'll make sure they put it out in time for it to disappear off the shelves, for people to buy it and then resell it for thousands of dollars on eBay and make everyone go broke.
Maybe.
Yes.
Maybe. But what did the insider tell us about? This was from Doc LA Medic, our GTA exclusive.
Let me bring it up here. Go to our comments section. On
Please leave some comments to let us know when we're wrong and to call out Noob and to give us insider information. We do love that.
So there's going to be two versions, and this I have heard, roughly a 2 gig version and a smaller version at 800, or a 2 terabyte version and a smaller version of 825 gigs. So according to our insider Doc, he says the 2 terabyte or 1.6 terabyte is what he quoted, is going to be $650. And the smaller version of 825 gigs is going to be $540.
It's an outrage!
Which is much higher than what I expected.
That hits my my pocketbook pretty hard.
I think I was guessing somewhere in the $600 range. I think I'm right with that one. If I remember right, the last one that came out was in the $600 range, right?
No, that was the second to last one. So the last one, PS4, undercut Xbox One by $100 and came in at $399. And everyone was like, fuck you, Xbox, you're too expensive, we're going to go buy PS4.
That's like 20 hookers.
Yes. PS3, on the other hand, was $600, and everyone was like, this is way too fucking expensive. Nobody bought that shit. Nobody bought it, so that's when Xbox 360 kind of overlapped Sony in the console wars, but then now they have completely been decimated by PS4 and now PS5, unless Xbox somehow comes in much cheaper, which I highly doubt.
So you're saying that the PS5 has bent over the Xbox and is just giving it to it?
Oh, yes. The PS5 conference, literally, the two conferences were very similar. They showed off a bunch of games, and at the very end, they showed off what the console looked like. Nobody even remembers or gives a shit about the Xbox conference.
There was an Xbox conference? I don't remember.
Exactly. It was a couple months ago. And everyone is going bananas over the PS5 conference because of, A, how it looks, which apparently is like a router with paper tape to it, I just realized. Mm-hmm. And it still looks cool as shit. I think that's easily the best design of a console since the GameCube or Dreamcast.
What? Are you kidding me? The GameCube looked perfect. It's a cube and has games. What the F are you talking about?
And the good thing I like about this is you're given options for this. So there's 3 editions coming out for the PS5. There is the white and black version, which is the standard. There's going to be an all-black version, and there's going to be a Miles Morales Spider-Man version with a built-in red Miles Morales Spider-Man lighting.
There's another version.
Oh, there it is. Yeah, we had this image on our show last
What is
night.
that? I'm confused.
That is somebody bending over for a dick.
That's the new shape of the PS5 controller.
Cheese and crackers.
Yeah.
Jesus.
So, but there were so many good games announced. Ratchet and Clank, Project Athea. There is Gran Turismo for you racing simulator fans out there. The Ghostwire Tokyo for first-person horror. Returnal for third-person horror with death, basically kind of like an Edge of Tomorrow sci-fi spin on it. There was so many good things that everything that Xbox did just basically got washed away.
So sad.
But but do you think that with that over $600 price on it, if they're taking a gamble there that they're just going to get blown out again, regardless, as long as Xbox is cheaper?
So Xbox is more powerful than PS5, so I can't imagine that they're going to undercut the price that much.
I look at it from the Apple perspective, where Apple clearly failed when they made the X or the 11 or whatever.
iPhone X was like hyper expensive at first.
Yeah, it was like $1,200, and people were like, "Yeah, F that! I ain't paying for that shit." So then, when you get the cheaper version, everybody's holding out for the cheaper version, and now they're supposedly releasing an even cheaper version than the cheaper version. So I think there's definitely a price point that people cannot afford or will not pay, and will cripple them if they don't. So. Yeah, let's see what happens. We'll see what happens.
I'm going to buy the top version right away if I can reserve it.
Because he's wealthy.
Yes.
He's got so much money from his cocaine.
Yes.
Is it your cocaine?
All the cocaine. What?
Stop selling cocaine.
What? That's a voice. Who is that voice?
Don't worry about it. You got some cocaine.
Okay. So that's it for our news. Let's move on to our
there's more news.
More news.
More news.
Oh yes, Paw Patrol, because racist dogs exist.
God, you're so racist. So is that dog.
Look, that dog is not racist. That dog just needs boopsies.
Look at this. It's like a party in our YouTube. Woo!
Yeah, I know. I called you out earlier for having a freaking pulsing camera.
It's awesome.
So
we apologize for whoever has epilepsy because you're probably dead.
So the New York Times decided they were going to do an article because apparently there were protests about Paw Patrol with everything that's going on with Defund the Police. They were doing Defund the Paw Patrol, and New York Times decided to write an article on it.
It's called Copaganda.
After they wrote the article on it, the people that were doing the Defund Paw Patrol called them out for being absolute idiots, saying this was a joke. You weren't supposed to take this shit seriously. What is wrong with you?
Well, there has been some backlash against Copaganda, which is the positive portrayal of police officers. What is it? LAPD Live? What the hell's the name of that show? Cops has been canceled
after 32 years.
After 32 years, and so was LAPD. Something Live. Something about
Next
Cops
is
Live.
Law and Order SUV is going to be canceled.
Yeah, but the trolls got to Paw Patrol and said that Chase,
the
Troll Patrol, Chase is a non-positive. He's a positive police influence, and those Canadian bastards need to cancel the Paw Patrol. So
wasn't there also Peppa Pig has a cop as well?
Peppa Pig, she's a pig, man.
Yeah, but there's a cop.
Don't you get
there's
it?
A cop pig.
She's a pig.
Pupper.
There's a cop pig in Peppa Pig.
What do you mean? They're all pigs.
Either way, this was just somebody making a joke, and the New York Times was dumb enough to actually write an article on it and to fall for it.
Yes, because they're idiots.
Because
congratulations, because stupid media.
The media is so stupid sometimes.
Get your news from real news sources like OrkU.
Yes,
we're authentic journalists. Just kidding.
So is that
That's fine. Stop making it epileptically kill people. You're epilepticing people.
Is that it for news then?
Yeah, let's go to reviews.
Come on. Let
me fucking throw this at you. I swear to God.
This peach drink is getting me sick.
Reviews.
Like my shiny metal ass.
So, how do we want to do
You missed the Plus Ultra. Don't cut off the Plus Ultra. Plus Ultra.
Tonight.
Okay.
You.
So we're a little light on reviews. We only have 3 because there's nothing.
We barely watched.
There's nothing to watch. How do we want to do this? Do we want to end with Scott reviewing something, or do we want to end with the one we watched all for like 2 seconds?
I might drop in an extra special review here or there.
Oh, okay. So let's go Dorohedoro, because I don't know what the fuck that is. Scott watched it though.
So go ahead, Scott. Why don't you explain something about lizard heads and something I don't care about?
Dorohedoro. And I don't know why that was on Echo, but it was.
So it's lizard porn.
It's
and French fries.
It's anime. It's actually a fun anime. It's a fun.
Doesn't look
It's a fun show. Noob, have you pulled up anything on this, like critic reviews, analysis, or anything like that?
I tried to look it up on Rotten Tomatoes, and I couldn't find it.
It doesn't exist because no one cares. It's
brand new?
It's brand new. It's in a world of magic. The character you see here is a guy who had his head severed, yet he grew a lizard head afterwards, but he's amnesiac.
Why would anyone want to watch this?
It's an 8.2 out of 10 on myanimelist.com.
My anime list.
So he's trying to find the wizard that did this to him. It's
Why is he biting someone's head off?
It's a fun, innocent cartoon, but it's also bloody and violent at times. It's an interesting watch. It's actually fun to watch. He bites the guy's head where the magician inside him tells him whether or not that was the person that turned his head into a lizard.
The magician inside him.
It's a weird show. It's a fun show. It's the character I just forgot Croc or whatever the fuck his name. I just forgot what his name was. Cayman. The character here, Cayman. Common. He's an innocent, fun character. He's a good guy. The bad guys are actually people you can appreciate and enjoy. The magic's interesting. The anime's really good. There are times that it's real bloody and sick and disgusting. The first episode, he bites a girl and tries to find out she's the magician. She gets pulled away and he rips her face off. That's in the first episode.
Does he then have sex with her?
It's a fun show. It was just a fun watch. It's a good time killer. It's a fun anime that's not filled with like these weird tits flying all over the place in the weird Japanese anime that we're all used to, the manga stuff. It's a different watch.
It doesn't look anything like Goblin Slayer, so I'm not interested.
Actually, I think it'll be along the lines of Goblin Slayer. Actually, when it comes to the animation style, when it comes to the bloodiness of it.
How many episodes?
10-ish.
And they're half an hour apiece?
Yeah, about that. It's an easy watch. It's a very easy watch.
There's a magician inside of his mouth.
Yes.
And he's supposed to be a good guy eating people?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
I'll be honest, it looks kind of interesting to me. I kind of want to watch it.
Good.
I might watch it off of Scott's recommendation, although I
watch.
might not watch it just because Scott recommended it.
No, I do think if you turn the show on, you get to the first episode. As soon as you watch the first episode, you're going to keep going and watch the rest of them. You're
going to know right away if you're into this.
Yeah, you'll know right away if you're into this, and they do good. The first episode, you figure out if you like it or not. I think most people, especially those who watch anime, are going to really enjoy this show.
So, okay, I might watch it, honestly, just to see if your recommendation is
looks like a hard pass for me.
But we're going to keep the Scott review train rolling, and this is an exclusive first-day review of a Disney Plus show, or a Disney Plus movie, that apparently had a big budget, I think. I don't know if this
There's no way this movie should have been released in theaters. Like, thank God it didn't go to theaters.
I think it was meant to be in theaters initially.
What was the
It was originally
description
it was
to you,
originally
Scott.
meant to be in theaters.
It was meant to be in theaters. It was supposed to be a big... They think this is like the start of like a franchise, right?
I guess. This is Artemis Fowl, by the way, in case you were wondering.
I think it could be, and it'd be nice if Noob brought up anything on this as well.
He has some stuff on
I
it.
have, yeah. So Artemis Fowl, the critic consensus is a would-be franchise starter that will anger fans of the source material and leave newcomers befuddled. Artemis Fowl is frustratingly flightless. The tomato meter is 11%. The audience score is 23%, so nobody likes this.
There's a chunk of reviews, too. It's 94 on the critic side, which is the bulk of the professional critics. I think is there 130 or 230? I forget.
230 for the audience score.
No, 230 professional qualified reviewers. Or is it 130? I forget. And that's like the bulk of the professional reviewers either way. Josh Gad is one of the stars of this. So is Nonso Anozoe.
How about the Dame Judi Dench?
Oh, that's right.
Colin Farrell, or
Colin Farrell's in it.
Colin Firth or Colin Farrell, one of the Collins.
Nonso Anozoe, he was from Game of Thrones.
That guy.
Yeah, he was the.
Oh yeah, look, it's Penguin. He's looking like a little penguin there.
Yeah, but isn't that a Colin?
Yeah, it's Colin Farrell.
Yeah, that's it. See?
How's the lead kid? He looks real not interesting.
You
to me.
you hate him at times, at other times you don't hate him. What this is kind of like a spy. This is like a Spy Kids remake with fairies and trolls and stuff like that didn't have fantastic writing. It definitely fell short on that. The actors did a decent job. The special effects were actually really well done. It fell short on the writing side of it. They came in heavily with narration with this guy. He had to talk like this the entire time.
Isn't that Josh Gad?
Josh Gad,
Yeah,
yes.
they actually did.
Diggerous or something.
Yeah, they actually did call him out when he was talking to Judi Dench, who she was also talking with a raspy voice as well. Said something along the lines of, look at us here talking to each other like a couple of hippos with sore throats or something like that. It was poor writing. It came in real heavy with him narrating. They tried to break the fourth wall, but didn't do it properly. With better writing, this could be a really good movie. It did not go that way. It's going to be decent for little kids. It's going to piss off the people that are familiar with the original content.
The books.
But it wasn't a horrible show. As soon as I got past his narration and got into the movie itself, I was able to just actually watch it.
It looks like hot garbage. From what you're showing me, it looks like hot garbage.
It honestly looks really fucking bad.
The coloring in it, as soon as they went into the fairy world, the coloring was extreme. Super saturated. The colors were very extreme. It was annoying at times, but I don't think it's as bad as people were saying it was, but it's also not a fantastic watch either. It would definitely be a bomb in the theaters. But,
so he's the son of a super criminal, and he's trying to work with underground. He's trying to stop some underground fairies from ferrying him.
So he's the son of a super criminal who disappears, and he has to then find where his dad went by battling magical creatures, fairies and trolls and goblins. Yes.
Oh boy, this.
How about orcs? How is the depiction of orcs in this?
There were no orcs. There was a big ass troll.
Racist. No representation.
Zero representation of the orcs.
It was directed by Kenneth Branagh, who did the first Thor movie.
Yeah, shocking. They picked a pretty safe director who would rather be doing Shakespeare than dumb kids movies on Disney Plus.
It was meant to be released worldwide in theaters May 29th.
So would this be a bomb, Scott? You think a big bomb?
It would be a bomb. It probably would do well overseas. Like I said, if they didn't do the whole narration thing from the very start, if they set the movie up differently, it probably could do really well. But you can't get past the way they start this movie. If you can make it to about halfway through this movie, it's almost a watchable movie. But the first half of it definitely destroys any hope of making it to the end of this movie.
Do you know what the narration is for? Did you realize a lot of American movies are having a lot of voiceover narration in the beginning? Do you know what that's for?
I've noticed that lately.
Do you know why?
Why is that?
It's for the Chinese market.
Well,
because they don't understand what's going on, and they need narration so that way they can understand what's going on in these movies, because it's confusing to them because they don't speak the language.
Then you need to make a narration track for them, but not for us, because what we need and what is great storytelling is when you can visually set the scene for the viewer to realize what's going on without having to have somebody sit there and explain it to them as if they're idiots.
Speaking of which, talk about a movie that has way too much narration and way too much... there's a technical term for this, Scott. What is it? Where you do setup in the beginning and it's not just narration. It's
point waste of time.
No, it's I know what you're talking about. I can't think of it.
Yeah, I can't remember it.
Voice MacGuffins?
Somebody in the chat can tell us how stupid we are. Can't remember this. But we are talking about the 0% rated movie, which is a rarity on Rotten Tomatoes, The Last Days of American Crime, based on a graphic novel.
Yeah, if you recall, one of the last 0% movies we reviewed almost got me killed. I think it was Gotti with
You were
John Travolta.
almost murdered by John Travolta's... No, not John Travolta's cousin.
The Gotti's daughter.
One of the Gotti's daughter's cousins.
She was ugly
or something.
and fat. And she couldn't kill anything other than an enchilada in her mouth.
Way to go after her again. Yeah. I don't know if the fans realize this, but maybe about 2 years ago, we got into a pretty big fight with one of the Gottis, and she threatened to murder, at least Noob, I didn't watch the movie, and I didn't say anything bad about it, other than how fantastic the Gottis are. We love them. I love them.
Fuck
Noob
them.
Noob hates
They're
them.
pieces of shit.
Yeah, kill Noob Noob.
I wouldn't let her suck my dick for money.
Woo! Hashtag kill Noob Noob.
Okay.
But
Is it exposition? Is what you're thinking?
that is exactly what. There's too much exposition.
Over exposition.
20 minutes of this chick narrating what's going on. The lead actor has all the charm of a plank of wood, and I just was not interested in this at all. I tried real hard to watch it. It visually looks great. Looks like it was directed really well.
Look great. It looks like okay.
Looks good. It looks like comic book stills.
So let's
right?
let's see how far we got. I got 30 minutes.
I thought you said you did 20 minutes because I thought I got past you.
Maybe.
Because you said you saw boobs, and I made it past boobs.
Well, boobs was at 6 minutes.
Oh, okay. Well, you made it past that.
5 minutes I was screaming at this movie. 6 minutes there was boobs, which held on to me for another 15 minutes.
Damn, that skirt is short. Holy cow. Is that girl? That's the shortest skirt I ever seen. Holy macaroni.
What makes it easy for her to have sex?
Noob, how long?
she
How long?
have- so
How,
we didn't
so
make it that far.
How long
She
did you get it?
Hour and 15, I believe.
Oh, he beat all of us. Did
They-
she get naked and have sex with
she
someone?
did. Yeah, I saw her boobs.
Oh,
I didn't
okay.
see.
Well, that's
I
why
didn't see her boobs. She did have a sex scene early on with the lead character for
No, she gives boobs.
no reason whatsoever. Well, then I wasn't watching that hard then because I missed her boobs too.
No, her boobs are after that. She gets fucked multiple times in this movie.
Well then I missed the second time because I only saw the first time, which was another stupid scene early on in the movie that made this thing completely unwatchable.
A movie, a woman dancing topless on top of a car for no reason.
That's
Her boobs were
what
nice.
kept me going for a little bit. But
Are you saying that
other
the
than
the lead girl's boobs were not nice?
They were okay. I
Wow.
was fighting.
Rude!
I was debating on whether she was attractive or not. Like
You
I
are
couldn't-
so rude.
I couldn't tell.
God.
So this movie has a 0% on Tomato Meter, only 33 reviews. So that's kind of that's telling. So there's not a whole lot of reviews.
I'm gonna set this up right here. I'm going to explain for our
plot?
I'm going to show our YouTube viewers how dumb this was, and for those that aren't watching on YouTube, I'll try to explain this. The scene opens with our lead character who apparently has somebody confined in a bathtub for some reason.
He's pouring gasoline
must be a bad
on
guy.
a guy in a bathtub.
He's pouring gasoline on him and then holds a lighter close to him, acting like he's going to light him on fire. He finds out what he needs to know, and then he stops going to light him on fire. He then lights a cigar and puts a cigar in the guy's mouth. For some reason, not alone will a cigar not like gasoline. Let's forget that right there. He says to this guy, so there's not enough gasoline on you to light you on fire, but there's definitely enough gasoline in this tub to light you up. So technically, you shouldn't drop this cigar that's in his mouth. Now, for those of you that are seeing this on screen and those of you that aren't, let me paint this picture for you. The guy is standing in a bathtub with his hands behind his back and a cigar in his mouth. He's basically standing. He's straight up and down in a bathtub filled with gasoline. If he drops the cigar, he lights on fire. Right? Wrong. All you have to do is lean 2 inches to the right and spit the cigar onto the goddamn ground, and then you're out of this predicament. How difficult is this to get out of this scenario that this guy has put you in?
I will up your stupid
He's going to up you one more stupid.
I will up you one more. So after this scene that you just described, this man, the lead, goes into the next room and starts watching cartoons.
Amongst a bunch of other people that he murdered.
Now, if I was the guy in the tube or in the tub, I would either A, spit the thing out and live, or if you're going to die to further the plot or, just die because you're an idiot, why not blow yourself up while the person murdering you is still there?
And
because he literally took the time to sit there and watch cartoons.
So when he goes, literally,
and let's talk about that. Then he leaves the apartment, and for some reason, as he's walking away, the apartment explodes. Not kind of like gasoline in a bathtub explodes, like
Just
80 pounds of
explodes.
TNT explodes. So you're telling me one of two things. Either the guy waited that long to then drop the cigar in the bathtub because he's an idiot and he can't lean 2 feet to the right, or this guy was going to blow the whole apartment up anyway, in which case everything he did was pointless.
Yeah, because he could have dropped the cigar at any point and blown the other guy up for no. Like that's where it's kind of silly. You didn't even discuss the
Fucking
plot.
thing sucks.
This is the first 5 minutes of this movie.
So let me give you the critic consensus because this is great. This is the shortest critic consensus I've ever seen.
I've never seen anything like this. This is funny.
So the critic consensus on Rotten Tomatoes is this crime is punishment. That's it.
That's it.
Just
Make
saying,
you defecate.
they're basically saying this movie is literally punishment to watch, which I don't
It
necessarily.
just wasn't that interesting. Like it looked cool, but it just wasn't interesting enough to watch.
Here's
like
the
I just
problem.
couldn't get in.
The problem was it was 2.5 fucking hours.
That is the biggest problem.
Oh,
This
Lord.
Not coherent, good, or interesting enough to make you want to go past an hour and 45 minutes. But then they're like, we'll do an hour and 45, but then add another 45 minutes of uselessness. Because this movie is just nonsense. It just doesn't make any
The
sense.
plot is that the American government is tired of crime, apparently. So they've instituted this like noise, and the noise will prevent people from consciously committing crime anymore.
Yeah,
I guess,
because
It goes into your brain and hits a synapse in your mind.
because
whatever.
apparently this thing was filmed in Seattle because it's now post-apocalyptic and it's just war in the streets and the cops have given up. So
No, this is not the Chaz. The Chaz has a garden and is very nice. Thank you very much. Anyway, this guy. Ooh wee. Anyway, this guy, I don't know. The whole thing is stupid. I guess they're trying to commit one last heist before they can't commit crime anymore. Like, who cares?
But here's the thing. They explain this, and this is a spoiler, sort of. They explain that the thing is that you can't commit crime. It's that in your brain, you can't commit an act that you deem unlawful. So even, let's say you robbed a bank, and that's unlawful, and you have tens of millions of dollars. Using that money is unlawful. So you can't use any illegal money. You can't do anything. So in this movie, they actually have a government buyback program, essentially, for illegal criminals, where they can transfer their illegal money for a much lower amount of money in... it's just so stupid. Everything about it is stupid. The acting is like either wooden or hammy. I just don't. It doesn't. There's no point to it.
So the boobs couldn't even make us watch it.
I gotta stop yelling. I'm scaring the dogs.
Stop screaming. Scott.
Yeah, it's just. It's
a
not
stupid
bad.
concept.
It's just too long for how unremarkable of a
Also,
movie it is.
Yeah,
Also think about it. So the signal makes you not commit crime that you know is wrong. However, doesn't that mean that if you don't know the crime is wrong, you still commit the crime in the first place? Then
If we would watch the movie to its end, maybe
we
would have
never
found that
didn't make
out.
it to the end.
But
Yeah.
I also remember one of the plot points was as soon as the signal goes live, all the cops were going to hand in their guns. Therefore, there was no more police, and all the law stuff was going to be done by one guy in a room with a signal that stops you from doing things that you know is wrong. That would pretty much mean that the mentally insane would then run free and be able to do whatever the hell they want.
It just made me think of the movie with Robbie Amell that we just watched.
Code 8.
Code 8 that was like done on seemingly a smaller budget and was just a little bit tighter. Like that movie didn't seem overly long. I could get through it. It was engaging enough to actually watch. This just like I couldn't make it. I think I made it 20 minutes and was just like, yeah, I'm out. I'm not interested. I can't get through it. I mean, it looked cool. I thought it was directed fairly okay.
Yeah, it was also. It also was. This was also a victim of poor writing as well. The language they used, the dialogue back and forth. It was so simple, so stupid, so pathetic that it was just wasn't. It hurts your brain. Is how bad it was.
Well, since none of us made it through it, I guess we can give it a fair review. Other than like, good luck.
If I'm bored this weekend, I might finish it, but who knows? I got an hour and 12 minutes left.
Oh my god,
I
that's
think-
insane.
Yeah, I think just because you got that far, you just have to finish it. It's like a marathon. You got so far, you just have to keep going.
A nice equation to this, or an allegory, would be that it's like a Zack Snyder movie without any cohesion, because he basically rips scenes. It looks like it's scenes ripped from a graphic novel, which this is based off of a graphic novel, but there's no connective thread between each scene. It's just like, here's a scene, let's move on to something completely random. There's a scene. Let's move on to something that doesn't make any
Thanks
sense.
for 100% stealing my analysis from earlier today,
Oh,
you piece
you mean
of shit.
my analysis?
You're such a piece of shit.
My analysis.
We literally already had this conversation, and he's literally stealing my analysis.
Straight up.
You're such a piece of
Straight up
garbage.
stole that from you.
I just, and as we get ready to close, I do want to point out briefly. I will say, as far we're watching through Stargirl, right? And I have been pleasantly surprised. While it's not a great show, it is pretty interesting how there's a lot of stakes in this show. Main characters or main villains or main things that you think should just be like, oh, this guy's going to be in the rest of the show, just get killed off like that. It's really kind of fascinating.
It's also another DC property that they have proper costumes and storytelling. This is not CW DC at all. This is actually, it looks good. The costumes are good. The effects are good. It's like good storytelling. It's everything that New watches is wrong.
Oh yeah, I did want to mention, like, this is one fascinating part. Thank you, Noob, for reminding me. I did want to point out something about the origin stories of this show, which this is incredible. So let's go through some of the classic, amazing origin stories. You have Peter Parker, who's essentially an orphan adopted by his aunt and uncle, who take him in. He's bitten by a radioactive spider and has to learn that, the power of his abilities, and his adopted father tells him on his deathbed that, with great power comes great responsibility. You have Bruce Wayne, who literally watched his parents murdered in front of him, and that horrific crime fuels him to be a superhero. You also have, Superman, who's literally the orphan of a planet. There's no one left in his race, and he's the only one left, and he has to, adapt to a new world, a new environment where he's the only one of his race.
Wonder Woman, raised on a tropical island, taught to hate men.
Well, okay, forget Wonder Woman. That's not a good one. But then you have Wildcat from Stargirl, where her tragic origin story is she sent some nudes to her boyfriend, and they were sent around the school.
She looks like she has pretty good boobs for a 15-year-old, I'll be honest.
I'm pretty sure she's not 15.
Wow, I think it's.
I hope she's not 15.
I think it's time we canceled Noob.
Isn't that a tragic origin story though, where she sent pictures of her boobs?
It's
and
horrible.
Then it's just a horrible origin story. It must really forge her in iron and just give her that, like, I'm gonna strike back at everyone.
Also falls into that horrible, stupid, like, Valley Girl trope. The poor high school girl that sends the news to her boyfriend and gets exposed for everyone else. It's such a tired genre.
Tired. I've never heard of that as an origin story for a superhero ever. What other superheroes is that an origin story for?
Exactly. Also, I just want to add, it's a weird side note that this is seemingly like the youngest aged show in the DC or CW universe, and it's the most sexualized out of the females.
It is little weird.
It's weird. Like, origin story of sending nudes, and the Stargirl's costume is she's like wearing a half a shirt every episode.
Tight pants and
they're
half
all 15-year-olds.
They're all 15. Like, please, we like the show. Stop sexualizing these girls.
It definitely is like,
These are hot,
is it like Valley High or something, or like what are those stupid shows that are like on MTV where like oh my god, like, Becky, you're so stupid, like.
But that's what's fascinating is the dynamic between the fact that they're naive high school kids and the stakes are so freaking high. Literally, the one guy this is a little bit of a spoiler, one of the guys who's actually nice to her, she's a new girl in the new school, one of the guys she talks to who she's nice to, one of the villains immediately murders the kid. One of the super villain, like, there's a lot of people getting murdered, and these super villains, they are so freaking powerful, and this girl is so outmatched for these guys, so outmatched. I will also say that the special effects around, there's some guy who looks like Cobra Commander in it. I don't know anything about this show other than what I've seen so far. I don't know any of their origin stories, but the special effects on the Cobra Commander guy, pretty cool. I'm pretty down with that. The other thing I think that's fascinating is the main villain. It's the Justice Society, right? Versus the Injustice Society.
Yes, it's the Justice Society of America versus the Injustice Society of America.
The lead villain literally has the same exact origin story or very similar origin story to Peter Quill from the Guardians of the Galaxy, except he turns bad. And because he perceives what happened to him as an injustice, he forms the Injustice Society, which I thought was really kind of interesting, where he's one of those villains who in a different world or it had things come a little differently for him, could have been a hero, but he's twisted into a villain. And I think that's fascinating, and I think they're doing a really good job with the show, regardless of the fact that it shows up on CW.
Yeah, I mean, it actually does show up on CW as well. It's on Disney, or not Disney, on DC streaming, DC Universe, and it's on CW as well. Aside from seeing her in the cartoons and the Justice League cartoons here and there, I don't know anything about Stargirl either or Stripes. Maybe in the cartoons there's something more. I'd kind of be interested to see how true to canon they are, but for the most part, just the show as a standalone, it's good. I'm enjoying it.
Yeah, I dig it. So, I don't think it's getting great ratings, but stick with it, folks. We'll give you a full end of series review. There's not a lot to review, folks. We're doing our best. So with that being said...
So, if you like what you heard here this week, head on over to Instagram at OrkU. Check us out at Facebook.com/OurReviewsWillKillYou. And if you're not watching us live on Friday or later on where you can visually see us, I see you, you see me, you're in the chat with me, you can check us out on YouTube at youtube.com/OurReviewsWillKillYou. And if you're watching us on YouTube and you want to check us out on the podcast, check us out on Google+, Stitcher, Spotify, iTunes, Apple News, all your streaming services. And, as always, Our Reviews Will Kill You is brought to you for free thanks to ScottWillKillYou.com. Yes, the newly vamped and new-looked website. Pretty, efficient, multiplicity, synchronicity, sexual chocolate.
Stop talking.
Check it out, ScottWillKillYou.com, because Scott will kill you with brand new styles.
And move to Seattle.
And if you want that Z exclusive show, make sure you tell us here, because exclusives with a Z. Get it? With a Z?
Or more noobgasms.
No one wants noobgasms.
Everybody
or if you want
noobgasms.
Exclusive communist talk with Scott,
yes,
please feel free to suggest that too. By the way, if you could just, the one thing that helps us the most is if you share this with your friends, tell them about this super awesome show that you found that brings you joy every Friday, every week. We do really, really appreciate it. Thank you so much for sticking through with us through all of what's going on. We're proud and very, very happy to bring it to you. So from all of us here at Our Reviews Will Kill You, to all y'all at home, devil horns, live long and prosper. Mahala, we love ya.
And Spock.